Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at Marik's quest. This is the Chokyu version. This is not the standard one. The standard one features difficulties at Savage, Kiwami, and Extreme, the Kyukyoku version. You must complete both of those difficulties before you can take on this quest. So if you try to do this Chokyu version and you see a message pop up, that is telling you you must defeat the previous easier one before you can take on this stage. Again, you have to do both difficulties. The main gimmick for the stage features mines, gravity barriers, and needle panels. In addition, they are reusing that gimmick from Raudra, which requires you to hit a monster 3 times before damage goes through. For this stage, at least, it is 3 times. And most importantly, you only need to do this once because all it does is unlock the ascended form of Marik there on the left. So after this, you can slide your Marik from Evo to Ascension without using any items for free. And that's actually the only way to slide it. So you must clear this just once. There is no need to farm the stage because the drops are the same drops as the Savage and Extreme version. So you should be farming the other one and trying to clear this just once. You do get 5 orbs for this as well. Alright, the team I'm bringing here is stacked with, of course, Minesweepers and Gravity Bears. Napoleon, she has the Deity Slayer M as well that will do extra damage to Marik. Marik is a deity type, so that will help out. Of course, her Strike Shot, which leads the team against the enemy. You have to actually hit them, but if you can, you're going to be able to do extra damage, which is great. Apple in her ascended form this time. She's mainly here for her speed up. She is not the a leading element type, so it's unrelated, but at least that speed up will help. Pandora, she is a bounce type, so you shouldn't bring too many bounce types. However, her Minesweeper M Super Null Gravity Barrier allows her to speed up on her own. And of course, the Drain is really helpful in keeping your HP up. And last but not least, we have Mundus, who is probably the MVP of this stage. Flight, so can't pick up the mines, but that Super Null Gravity Barrier with the speed boost is going to help, and the Strike Shot mainly. That Strike Shot is going to help out a lot to delay the enemies by 3 turns, including his bump combos actually do a good amount of damage. Now we're already wrapping up Battle 2, but you really should keep tabs on all of the enemies. They not necessarily will do lethal damage, however, some of them will mess with your success rate a lot. So the little Puyo blobs, they are usually paired up with something else. Either it's the night if it's light, if it's dark it's going to be that spritzer on the second to bottom row. And as you can see, the Puyos itself don't do too much damage. They only do a 28k blast, so if they end up getting low, it's not necessarily a huge priority, but you do want to get rid of them. The Knight, on the other hand, will do a 80k blast, and unless you are maxed out on your health, you are in danger of dying from those attacks. In addition, they are one of the monsters that do require 3 hits before damage starts going through. The Thunderbirds in the middle, just took them out. That right number actually heals all enemies, and the bottom one will do an 8k blast, but it will defense down your team. The last thing you want to do is have to take more damage, so you should focus on getting rid of those Thunderbirds as quickly as possible, especially since they will heal everybody, and Marik there has an immense amount of HP, especially when you go to the boss, so taking those guys out should be our highest priority. Note that they do not revive each other, so you can take out one without having to take out both at the same time if you feel like that is not a optimal move. Whereas almost everybody else has a revive counter. The Spritzer will come down with a Dark Puyo pair, and their top attack does a 3.5k meteor to all, which is not super bad, but they actually do have a chance of knocking out your monster, which is bad. So you do want to take them out before that bad stuff happens. Of course, if you want to gamble, that's your choice. The middle attack will increase the attack of all enemies on the stage, which is bad. So try to make sure to take them out at the most by that big number. And last but not least, we have that wolf. We see him all the time. That big number is a attack down blast. They are usually in the corner, so if you're on the opposite corner, you won't be affected. But you do have to be decently far away to avoid that blast, as you can see there. And the wolves do come in pairs, so you must take out both at the same time. Otherwise, they will revive with that bottom right attack. Once you defeat the boss, he'll run away, and you are set. Alright, so let's take a look at the boss attack movements. This is also very important given the damage and how it'll just really mess up the stage. First, that bottom left number, the one in the green circle, Marik will move, and so every movement will do that 1000 blast. That's not the insignificant part, but they will also revive one of the Thunderbirds if you're in boss stage 1 and 3, or it will revive one of those Puyos on boss stage 2, and we should see that next. And if you want to do damage, as you can see, you want to get into that bounce type and try and get in between him and the wall to do damage. As you can see, that Thunderbird came alive, so we're going to have to worry about it again. But next up is the right attack, or sorry, the top attack. And this attack is going to do a max HP reducer. It will do about 10k damage. And then your maximum HP is also minimized. This will happen every 3 turns after that first attack. So you saw it was a 4. It will happen every 3 turns afterwards. The right attack is a lightning attack. It will hit everybody. And do be careful if you are stacked, because then the lightning damage will stack twofold. And it hurts. That's 10k each. In addition, it will summon a new pair of enemies. In I believe the first 2 stages it is the wolves, and the last stage it is the dark Puyo and Spritzer combo. But if you can take them out, then you can focus on the boss. And really, it is very, very easy to run out of time with this boss. I mean, missing your gauge shot to not get your null gravity barrier is bad already, but leaving that Thunderbird up too will cause it to heal Marik as well. It's not super crazy, but it is a non-trivial amount of healing, and that easily could be enough to jeopardize your success probability of this stage. And like I said earlier, the needle panels do a significant amount of damage, and I mean, that's why Pandora really worked out really well for me, just because that drain, if you can get her in between the wall and Marik, that is enough to just heal up your team. As you can see, that death counter in the middle, I made sure to point that out. It's about there, and we are running out of time. So I used Mundus' strike shot. It is a 26 turn cooldown, so there is a chance if you use it on the first boss that you could be able to use it again by the end of the stage again. So if you feel some doubts, do not be afraid to use that strike shot. That is why I feel like Mundus is the MVP of this stage. Just so strong. Now Pandora here, she's going to get the speed up through her null gravity super null gravity barrier, as well as Apple's bump combo down there. And that was helpful enough to just have enough damage. Luckily that sword was there for Mundus to pick up. Whew. And again, Apple's bump combo. That was barely enough speed to get that last hit in. Very clutch. Alright, so this stage, we see we got the wolves already up here. The Puyos in this stage do not revive each other, so you don't have to worry about that. However, like I said earlier, you can see it on the green circle. Marik will be reviving a Puyo every 3 turns, essentially. And if you're not careful, as you can see, a blast happens. However, it is only, what was it, 28k, so it's not super scary. But we have been leaving up those wolves for a little bit too long. Luckily, Apple wasn't in that blast, and my friend Mundus actually had the soul badge to ignore any attack down blasts. So that was super helpful. And yeah, again, After this, it's just making sure that you can take out the enemies in a timely manner, which allows you to just purely focus on attacking the boss. Keeping in mind, you want to be careful of those needle panels. Like I said, 6,000 damage per hit is pretty rough. And here we go. It looks like my memory was wrong. It was the second stage where you see the dark Puyo and the Spritzer come down. But as you can see, the switch panels are set up in a very nice way so that if you got the angle, it is fairly easy to take them out. And yeah, I mean, YuGiOh is a great option for the stage at will. That envelope sphere is a little bit hard to utilize, I feel like, just because, you know, that spiral movement is kind of hard versus Mundus here, who does have a homing that will just purely find a way to do damage. Let's see, went against using the strike shot, I guess, and that was a very bad turn. Again, you know, I'm not trying to show that this is the optimal way. There's nowhere close to being the optimal way, but you know, if you try enough, even a semi-okay player like myself has a way to clear this. So hopefully this gives some hope for you out there who are still struggling with this stage. And here I'm just trying to find what is the best way to do enough damage here. This is a very iffy amount of damage to do, but luckily, again, just barely enough speed to get in there and knock Marik out there. Oof. Alright, final stage. The Thunderbird's in the middle. Kind of lucky positioning here with Napoleon. I can just swish up and down to take them out real quick. You can see the Puyo and the Knights are fairly separated out. You need to take them out in a pair before... Otherwise, they will revive each other. And then afterwards, it's just a matter of focusing down on the boss. Marik has a crazy amount of HP. So I didn't want to waste any more time trying to take out those two pairs. So once we take them out, then we only have to worry about one of the Thunderbirds coming back and the pair of monsters. Now I was kind of hoping this would either paralyze or defense down Marik. I mean, attack down is nice, but of the three possible status afflictions that Pandora's box could have thrown on it, that was the least one I was hoping for. But oh well, beggars can't be choosers. Napoleon, we're going to use her strike shot. Move everybody around. And unfortunately, it looks like I didn't hit Mundus because he's not moving very much. However, it did do almost 10 million damage, which is great. But like I said, that just shows how much HP this final stage Marik has and how much you have to do in 12 turns, basically. And it is pretty difficult, especially if you split your focus away from the boss to making sure you clean up all of the enemies. Because don't forget, that Spritzer can knock you out with its meteor attack if you are not careful. And the heals of that Thunderbird, very annoying. So probably just weighing my options here. Luckily, I noticed about at this point that Mundus' strike shot should be up before the end. You know, that 4 in the middle, right? So that's given me hope here. Again, we see that Spritzer is about to do another attack up on everybody. That's the middle attack. If you leave that open, at least nobody got knocked out. And yeah, so now we got to make sure to clean up everybody. Luckily that switch panel is right in front of that bird. We are able to take out the Puyo. Spritzer's gone. And now Mundus can use his strike shot to delay Marik once again. And that gives us 3 turns to take out Marik. Again, this flat angle, hoping, yes, like that, to sneak in. And that is why Napoleon is great. That DD Slayer M. Took a screenshot. Managed to barely get the speed clear as well, so that's great. S rank. The S rank time was really high, so you should be getting that no matter what. But yeah. And if you happen to clear this with 5 or more turns left, you can get another drop. But whatever. I'm not doing this stage again. 13.5 minutes at like what, 5 a.m. Rough. But there you go. That is the final battle at Battle City featuring Marik, the Chokyu Kyoku, was it Insidious quest. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to help you out. This is a difficult quest, so don't feel bad if it takes you multiple times. The game, Mixie X Flag knows you only need to clear this once. So in return, the difficulty is scaled to reflect that requirement. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.